Well, first of all, I'll say football time. And second of all, they're just saying that we're going to give God the glory and continue to ask Him to continue to bless us each and every day. We're excited about this football season to get started. I'm excited that we're playing Virginia Tech. One of the main reasons also is that I get a chance to, our fans continue to get on down there in Blacksburg. I know we're going to have a great showing there of our fans and support, being right here in the state of Virginia, to play a formidable opponent as in Virginia Tech with great tradition. And Frank Beamer has established that program in a great way. And we're just looking forward to the opportunity. Virginia Tech, Justin Fuente, the new head football coach. I don't know him personally, but I've watched him and admired him from afar. Being at TCU and his offensive program there as an offensive coordinator, I've always watched how the quarterbacks and how they have played and all those things. And you look back at all the quarterbacks that have played for him there at TCU and there at Memphis, they've all have done very, 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 very well. So I know that he can teach the game of football very well to his quarterbacks and to the offensive side of the ball. So he's a very good offensive-minded guy. I've understood that he is very detailed in how he teaches, how he coaches, how he goes about doing his business. His offense is no huddle, up-tempo. And they do a lot of variety of things in it. I know at Virginia Tech they got just named a quarterback, a junior college young man that played down there in Texas, and know a little bit about him through some other people talking with him. But again, they got some talented guys, not just him, but really all the quarterbacks. So they're going to have a variety of things that they're going to do, and I know they're going to be prepared very well. Defensively, when you say defense, and you start with my coaches, it starts out with Bud Foster. If you just talk about the coaches all across the country, I think that's the first name that people are going to mention when you start talking about defense. When you can sit here and say that a person has coached somewhere for 20 years, you know, that says a lot just in itself. That if you don't stay somewhere 20 years unless you've been very, very successful, and he's been that. He's kind of the model that you talk about on defense and the schemes and all those things of that nature, and obviously recruiting and all those things. But I've admired him from afar, and I've been an assistant coach and had to go against him as an assistant coach. So they're phenomenal on defense. That's not going to change this year, whether it's Justin Fuente as the head football coach or not. Their defense is always going to play well. And so we got a terrific task to try to making sure that we can move the football and score touchdowns, and not a whole lot of people have been able to do that. When you say Virginia Tech, also you say special teams. That kind of goes hand in hand, and they have tremendous speed at every position. It's always unique that you see a lot of, sometimes the receivers are on a lot of the special teams, whether it's kickoff return, kickoff, punt return, or whatever it is. They have a lot of speed on that field, and they've been tremendously for so many years. You can go back, and again, I think that's another kind of prototype that a lot of people try to go visit Virginia Tech and they start talking special teams. That's definitely where you end up going. So they're very, very solid in those three areas. I don't think it's going to matter who the head football coach is. Fuente's going to add his own little twist to it. We all don't know what that's going to be, but we all got to make sure that we're fundamentally sound in all three of those phases. Injuries for us, Mike Henderman is out. He'll be a week to week. Will Brown is out 2 to 3 weeks. Lower body for him. Will Johnson, he's going to be out. He'll be week to week. Lower body. Ernst Anderson, he's out and undetermined when he will be back with us. He has a lower body. I think the keys for us to win, I'm going to start with the special teams. That's the first play of the game. We know that for sure. That's the first play of the game. Whether you're going to be a kickoff, whether you're going to be a kickoff return, that's going to be a key play. Then I think the first two series of every phase of the game. I'm talking about the first two series and for special teams, the first two series that we're on defense, the first two series that we're on offense. How do we come out? It's probably the same thing for them. How do they come out? Not to say it's going to automatically win the game, whether you have success or you don't have success in those first two series. But I think at the beginning of the season and playing a formidable opponent like Virginia Tech for us, I think the first two series are very, very important for us to be very competitive and being able to execute and do the things that our coaches have taught our players to do, and then our players being able to go out and do that. Open it up to questions.
Coach, do you by chance see any similarities between y'all's situation and Virginia Tech? I know obviously you're not a new head coach, but with new quarterback, new offensive system, kind of a new system being put in place, do you see any similarities?
I think the only similarity would be, if you want to say, the new quarterbacks, as far as experience. Like their quarterback has played in some games, and obviously he's played at the junior college level as far as the starting guys, but that's probably the similarities is that we're both starting a new quarterback. They're kind of going to have to go run the show, or they're going to be able to get everything going in the right direction. Other than that, you know, the up-tempo as far as offense, we're going to be similar in that way. There's always different variations of it. Again, we don't know exactly how they're going to go. We got a plan to how we want to go about doing it, and now it's just going to be a matter of how we execute.
Coach, what have you seen in Damian King during the preseason that's allowed him to take over the starting H spot and moving Zach Parker down to the second team?
Well, I think King and Parker, they all going to play quite a bit, so you can not read too much into all that. I know there's a deal about who started and who didn't and all that, but Damian King has been very steady throughout the whole camp. He's made plays when the opportunity has presented itself, and we're just glad to have an opportunity. We got two good football players, and they're going to play a lot of football.
Coach Gill, you'll likely play in front of one of your biggest crowds ever. How have you planned on, as far as getting ready for the noise level? Have you simulated a lot of noise in practice to get the guys ready for what they'll hear on Saturday?
Yeah, we've simulated that. We actually pretty much every practice, we have some kind of noise going on, not necessarily throughout the whole practice, but we do have music, we have different crowd noises, all kind of different distractions in a way to make sure that we got to be able to communicate when it's loud. And so I think our kids have done a very, very good job of it. Now you just want to know they really have everything trained, and don't let now you're in the spotlight and you change. They got to do what they've been doing in practice. If they do that, then I think we'd be successful. So again, we do have a lot of younger guys playing, but we do have a quality of guys who have played quite a bit in this type of environment, and I think they'll be able to respond in a good way.
Coach, with the offensive line depth, the second string, no Division I experience there, how have you seen them improve, and will they be ready if called upon here in week one?
Oh, they'll be ready. You know, those are people we have. We still gonna figure that all out as far as who may switch around in different positions. Just because we have maybe somebody backed up as a guard or backed up as a tackle, we may have somebody move from a different spot and go somewhere else and play differently. But again, if they have to be called upon, we got to trust them that they're ready to go and play, and that's what they've done. They still got some work to do, but again, you'll find out where you're at when you get a chance to play. And so we're going to play the guys that give us the best chance to be successful.
Coach, how do you feel your team has adjusted to the new offense?
I think we've done pretty good. I like the way Coach Daly has has done the offense as far as preparation, as far as them from carrying it over from the spring, carrying it over here a little bit here this training camp. I think that our guys believe in it. I think that's probably the most important thing, is being able to believe in it, understand it. You know, I'm hopefully in the game we don't change our demeanor to what we have been in practice, where there's less thinking. And you see something and you respond versus they're maybe giving double looks, and you know that's not a good sign when they're kind of looking and doing double looks at it, and we all kind of have an old saying is we never want to see our players with their palms up. When their palms up, that's a bad sign as far as that goes, whether it doesn't matter what position, offense, defense, or special teams. So again, we'll see how we respond. I'm excited about it. I think it definitely fits what we're trying to get done with our offense and the personnel that we have.
Coach, do you think it helps that you know, Masha is kind of a dual threat quarterback? That's what you're going to be going up against. So your defense has already been going up against Masha. Does it help you at all going into this matchup against a dual threat quarterback?
Well, you know, our defense have played quite a few guys in the past who have been able to do that. So again, our coach is going to be able to make the correct calls, but now it's about our guys responding. Obviously, it does help having you know, Stephon being able to have that in practice. Our defense has seen some of those things of that nature. But again, we're excited about an opportunity. It's a tremendous challenge, but I know we're excited about it, and we just thank God for an opportunity.
Stress the importance of special teams. What really stood out to you as far as Alpha Jallo and Frankie Hickson being kick returners?
Alpha did a little bit last year on and off. Frankie Hickson has great running skills. The combination of those two guys, we feel if either one of them receive a kickoff, that they can do the job that they can do as far as if they have to take it to the house, they have the ability to do that. They have to block, they have the ability to do that. So right now, those are the two guys. We may have one or two other guys we may put in there to give them an opportunity to look. So we feel like there's really probably 4 guys that would be interchangeable that could actually be kickoff returners.
Coach, when you talk about the first game of the season, what's the biggest thing you look forward to with the first game of the season?
Oh, I think do we play with great effort? Do we play with confidence? Your body language tells that. Obviously, we'll get to watch the tape and really get all into the fine-tune of their techniques and all that. But I think the first 2 series is you're really trying to say, are our guys out ready to play? Are their body language showing that? And are we able to have fun through the process? If there's not having enjoyment about it, then there's some things that are not going right. So early on, we want to see how our body language is and how our guys are confident in the way they go about doing their job.
Coach, do you sense a normal opening game atmosphere, feeling among your players, or is it a little bit more knowing you're playing an in-state rival, a big team like Virginia Tech?
Oh, I think anytime you're playing an FBS team, I think there's a lot more attention to detail, a lot better focus, excitement. I think the excitement of playing here inside the state of Virginia is very, very good. We know we're going to have a pretty good little showing there for our fans, and I think just the excitement that playing against a national team that has been very, very good for many, many years. And a lot of our players love to play against the best people in the country. And so you have that opportunity to do it. They're excited. We just want to keep them in control of the excitement and being able to execute.
Is this a good time to be playing Virginia Tech, given that they're going through a transition? Does it make them a little more vulnerable to you guys?
I don't think it's an advantage or disadvantage either way. And when I say that, I'm saying because we don't know exactly what they're going to do. So they got some advantage. Obviously, they got talented players and all that too. But there's some little tweaks that they're going to do that we may not be aware of. Because that's just like anything. The first ball game is always a little bit unknown, even if you're playing somebody every year. We all tweak something every once in a while. But I think it's even more having a whole new staff, particularly on the offensive side of the ball, where there's going to be some few little things there. So I don't think there's a plus or minus either way.
Coach, how much has it helped you guys that you have played bigger FBS programs in the past, just last year and the last few seasons, that you guys are somewhat used to a bigger environment to play in?
Yeah, that's all a good thing. There's no question about that. It's still going to be anywhere from 15 to 20 guys that haven't done it, haven't been in that stadium, haven't played a game. They may have been into a stadium, but they have not actually played a game in that capacity. Again, I know most people, once you get to play the game of football, the crowd, the noise, that shouldn't even be a factor, because once you go across that line, you're so focused on what you got to get done. Then, it's more about the sideline when you start going off the sideline and you start getting distractions or starting to have yourself looking all up in the stands and doing those things of nature. But again, I think our guys with exposure, us as a coaching staff, talking through all those things, experiencing through those things in practice and trying to demonstrate what it's going to be like and seeing those things and talking to our players and coaches. So I think our guys will be prepared, but that's why you go play the game. It's a new year every year, so you don't know exactly as a coach how they're going to respond, and that's what makes it exciting. That's what makes it fun, and that's what makes it good to be a head football coach, because you get a chance to mold these guys in a way on the field and off the field.
Coach, your team was 1-5 on the road last season. What have you done this offseason to try to improve on that mark this year?
We're just trying to get better every day. It's about our execution. We haven't done anything to the extreme of that nature. It's just more trying to play better, more focused. If I had to say the one thing, it's just trying to be more detailed at everything, as far as myself to my coaches, our coaches to our players, and making sure that we keep them accountable. I keep my coaches accountable. We just want to making sure that we don't leave anything unturned, trying to making sure that we play to the best of our ability, we practice to the best of our ability. So if you had to say any little difference, it's really just being more focused on everything and trying to making sure that our players understand that the things that are off the field, the things that are on the field, the things that are going on in life, you cannot allow them to be a distraction. And so that's what we try to do a little bit here, more not necessarily football related, probably a little bit more non-football related, building more relationships with our players, spending more time with them off the field, that kind of things of that nature. Just being more deeper, knowing how our players go about doing their business and give them the best chance to be successful.
Coach, Justin Fuente went through this past weekend as a mock weekend to get them through the, I guess, simulation of a game weekend. A couple weekends ago when you had the off-campus scrimmage, did you get a chance to do some of that for a road game just to prep some of the freshmen who will probably get to see some playing time and some guys who hadn't seen playing time before, that opportunity to, I guess, go through those motions?
Yeah, I think the only thing that we did not do is we actually didn't go to a hotel, but all the other things, as far as our equipment people, our training room, our warm-up, team warm-up, and just all the things they do in the locker room before the game, halftime. So we did all those kind of simulations of what it would be like on a game day. So we did all those things too. We just didn't go to the hotel.
Coach, what's the most hostile atmosphere you think you played in as a player, and also is this going to be the most hostile environment you've taken this team to?
Myself personally, as a player or coach, I'd probably have to say to Miami. As far as, I don't know, just the excitement and the part of that, I guess, in 1983 season, 84 Orange Bowl. For this team, I would probably say this probably will be, and I'm going on my 5th year now, as far as the places that we played, I would think this would be. I have never been at Virginia Tech. We played against Virginia Tech, but never been myself at the Lane Stadium. So from what I heard and what I understand and all that it gets pretty loud and everybody's into it. And so I think this would probably be the loudest for our team here at Liberty University.
Coach, historically, the Hokies have had trouble with quarterbacks that run a lot, mobile quarterbacks. Are you comfortable with Stephon running the ball a lot against this Hokie defense? First game of the year.
Whatever it takes to win the football game. I'm not a coach worried about if he's going to get hurt, if he's going to get banged up, or all those kind of things. We're going to call the best play that we think can be successful. If he's got to run it 20, 30 times, so be it.
Coach, did you see the Charleston Southern North Dakota State game, and what was your thoughts on it?
I saw just about the majority of the second half. I didn't see the first half at all from that perspective, and I guess it was great for a Big South Conference to show the country, in a sense, that Big South Conference football is very, very good, play at a high level, can play with and can beat anybody in the country. So I think they displayed that. So it was a great job there by Charleston Southern.
I know with new coach up there, there's a lot of new things about their team, but the one constant you mentioned was Bud Foster. When you look at their defense schematically, what makes it strong, what makes it go?
Play fast. They may not have a whole lot of big guys, but they can all run. They all got good quickness, and they can run. They're quick and they're fast. And I guess if you say, I'm not saying we're specifically going to be scheme-wise like them, but if you talk about quickness and speed, that's kind of what I want our defense to be.